Welcome to the Cherland podcast, where I meet up with a musician, play songs with them, learn about their lives. On today's episode, we have Brett Hunter, or as you may know him by the end of this podcast, Schmang Brady. You may recognize him from the voice, you may recognize him from playing your wedding, you may recognize him from a slurry of So Far Sounds and wonderful other concerts he's put on all throughout California. I hope you enjoy his thoughts on business. I hope you enjoy his thoughts on art. And here you go.
Chick. Great. All right, feeling good.
Yeah. So I have this new, not this new, but like I have this tuning that I really like. It's in an open F.
Open F.
Yeah, and I find that I write
Open as F, dude.
open as F.
Yeah.
Oh, that should be like the little EP I launch with only open F songs.
With only open F songs.
Open as.
Okay, so when you said that you only have 2 songs on this guitar, you meant you have 2 songs in open F.
No, yeah, but that's what I meant. But I actually have like 4 songs
In open F.
and now I'm finding like other songs that I like know that I'm like rediscovering in open F.
Sure. Cool.
But
Like covers or songs of your own?
covers.
Cool.
Like These Days, Jackson Brown. I was like, oh,
Cool.
this works in open F.
Nice.
And
Sounds
then,
pretty.
But something interesting. What I wanted to note on that was that like, for some reason, I write differently
Mm-hmm.
in this key.
Why?
I don't know. It just like brings out sort of like a real.
It's a folksy sound.
Yeah.
Like the it's very like Boots of Spanish Leather.
I learned how to play. I did that song on it too.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Because I was like, oh yeah, that sounds like Blues.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, part of folk song is that it's supposed to sound like really natural, like open tunings. Like it's not supposed to be those
It's
like.
supposed to sound simple.
It is,
Yeah.
and it does.
Yeah.
Not as an insult, just like
Do
that's what it does.
you write it in any open?
No, because a lot of
You seem like you would. You got a lot. You don't like to be just standard guy with a guitar. You're
That's
trying to
true.
do some interesting stuff.
That's true, but the time it takes to detune my guitar, I've noticed like it's almost impossible to tune your guitar well and like hold an audience's attention for a really good time.
Oh yeah.
And I have like even just tuning down to D, like I can tune my E string down to a D and still maintain
Right.
the audience's attention, but that's like kind
That's
of the
it.
extent. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
But if you have 2 guitars, but I'm a solo act, so
Yeah.
like, hey, 1 second, I'm just gonna switch this out real quick, and then it's like 20 seconds of them just kind of like,
Oh, that's funny. This one time I was on mushrooms,
yeah,
and when I take mushrooms, I actually like playing music.
Sure.
I don't like to be like too drunk or
Right.
high or anything like that when I play. It just
Right.
kind of stresses me out. But
Yeah.
mushrooms is an edge case.
yeah.
So, but I get really afraid of tuning. So I was playing this one show, and I was on stage. I was feeling it. Everything was great.
Right.
But then I started tuning my guitar, and it started getting more and more out of tune. And I have this like super scared look on my face.
Yeah. You have it on film?
No, I don't have it on
Oh,
film
damn.
now. But I'm just sort of terrified. And I see my friend in the audience, and my friend's like, "Do you want me to tune it for you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So he jumps up on stage and takes my guitar
That's amazing.
and tunes it. And then while I talk to everybody,
Yeah.
and then he hands it back to me, and everybody cheers for me for not being able to tune my guitar.
What kind of a show was this? Was it like at a house or was it like at a venue?
It was at Bolinas. It was at Smiley's in Bolinas.
Okay.
Have you ever been there?
Is it in Oakland?
No, Bolinas. Okay, let me tell you about Bolinas.
Is it
It's
like
like-
Salinas? But
It's nothing like Salinas. You go over the Golden Gate Bridge,
yeah.
and you follow the coastline for like 30 minutes
Okay.
past Stinson Beach, and Bolinas is this little like farm town, locals only.
Mhm.
There's one main strip, and it's like
Mhm.
super low key and quaint.
Yeah.
And there's only like one place, and that's Smiley's, and it's this like old motorcycle bar.
Nice.
And they do this amazing, they do all these programs for artists where they bring in like mentors and talk to people about having a business in the music industry.
Cool.
And they
Like an all day thing?
they choose like 3 Bay Area bands
Cool.
a year.
And you were one?
No, I actually wasn't.
Okay.
I applied for the next year. Didn't make it. It's okay.
That's why I took mushrooms and showed up. Anyway.
Yeah. But as a part of it, you play downstairs in their bar.
Okay.
But outside of the residency, they just book bands.
Mm-hmm.
So you book there,
Mm-hmm.
and essentially it's like one of those destination shows, but you book a show there,
Yeah.
and then you invite all your friends, and they book the hotel rooms
Cool.
in this place. There's like 8 rooms.
Okay.
You get to stay in the top room with the balcony.
Big Papa room.
Yeah, Big Papa room. There's like, Big Papa room, but like there's like 7 of you. So it doesn't really feel like Big Papa.
Yeah.
You feel like a little papa on the couch.
Yeah. 7 dwarf papas.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like this other world. It feels like.
Man,
That's really cool.
Do you often take mushrooms prior to playing music?
No,
No.
just like shows that are for me.
That gives me anxiety just thinking about me taking drugs before a show, because there's already like that small amount of nerves before a show,
Yeah,
and then there's just like the normal chances of messing up, and then there's like, if I'm in an altered state, my shame cycle runs way faster.
interesting.
So if I mess up, I'm not able to rationalize why it's okay and like move on. I'll probably like fixate and spiral.
Oh, interesting.
Do you do that same sort of thing?
Well, on mushrooms, it's more of like, it gets me into this other space, which is like, taking it to the next level, which is basically like, it doesn't matter if it's good or bad.
Yeah.
It's a spectacle.
It
So, I don't know.
for better or for worse,
yeah.
we're at the next level.
Yeah. People are
It took
people are
us
like giving a show
Yeah.
regardless.
Yeah. A music show?
Yeah.
Maybe.
It could be like, it could be that they are really impressed with me or angry with me maybe.
Yeah.
But no, that's never happened. I get nervous for shows, but I don't think that I get. It's I like playing with other people because of what happens before a show rather than myself, where I just have to be only in my own like zone.
Yeah.
I find that like playing with people kind of helps that. But for the most part, like I only get concerned about other stuff.
Yeah.
Like who's gonna be there, and
Yeah.
like is the room gonna be empty,
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
That's pretty much the same thing. So
yeah,
I
but it has nothing to do with like the actual performance. That's
Right.
the easy part.
yeah.
It's the hard part is everything else.
Right.
Is the sound,
Right.
like really, which is kind of funny because like I run sound for a living,
Right.
but my confidence in it is like, I know that at least if I leave myself 5 hours, I can figure anything out.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make those.
Do you run it for yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. Like on an iPad?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I pretend like it's super easy.
Yeah.
But I'm such a perfectionist that
Right.
like I could just have a really simple setup, but I have to have like all the bells and whistles.
Right.
And I just like really shoot myself in the foot.
And it's harder, I mean, like both of the jobs, if you consider both of them easy, when you do them at the same time, they both become incredibly complicated because
Totally.
you're trying to you're doing your job as a performer while listening for what you need to change on the
Totally.
board.
Yeah.
And then you're like having to fight yourself because you're like, no, you can't reach there right now.
Right.
You're going to wait.
Right.
You're going to wait till this strum, and then you're going to turn that knob, and then you're going to go back to the song.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, technology is pretty incredible, like
Yeah.
with all that stuff. But
Yeah.
I totally hear what you're saying. You have to be on both of those things. I definitely like to just relax, and that means not running sound and not even playing an instrument. Just kind of being on the mic and
That sounds
just being
nice.
like,
yeah.
"This is cool. What's going on?"
Do you have
know?
any go-to dance moves for like do you bring it to
Yeah,
like,
I have the baby giraffe.
what's the baby giraffe?
It's when you wiggle your legs and then slowly take an awkward and abrupt step, one at a time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I call it the baby giraffe. I
I
invented
like
it.
that.
Yeah.
Are your hands in your pockets or on the mic?
Whatever's most awkward.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You're good at this.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You run sound for a living. Are you still? What are you?
I mean, I don't really run sound for a living, but
I mean,
like
you
I
make
run sound at events. I do events for a living. I
Right.
should say. Yeah.
Yeah. You are sound lord at events.
I tell people that I'm a wedding singer because I think it's the most interesting thing.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, you do a lot more than wedding singing.
I know, but I like to lead with wedding singer
Okay, as like a
because I think that people are just generally more intrigued by it.
really
Yeah. They're like, wait, what do you mean?
just okay.
You just.
I've gotten the exact opposite response.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people being
Maybe
like,
you're
cool.
saying it. Maybe you need to say it
with more
like
gusto.
it's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, the thing is I've gotten the opposite response, and like I think that people are, when you say you're a singer songwriter,
Yeah,
I think
People
that there's
hate
this
that.
thing that's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Damn a dozen.
It just like comes with built-in things.
Yeah, stigma.
Yeah. And like wedding singer, I guess, does, but only in a comical sense. Like
Yeah,
people
in
are
the
like,
Adam
oh,
Sandler
look, Adam
sense.
Sandler.
Yeah.
And I'm like, exactly.
But a singer-songwriter, they mistake you for a panhandler.
Yeah, but I think that it's just all too serious.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's
It's like I'm a singer-songwriter. It's like, okay, I really don't want to get into this right now.
yeah.
Like, I'm like, I definitely don't want to like ask you enough questions that makes you feel like you're gonna bust out a guitar right now and try to sing
And
me
I
a song.
also don't want you to send me a link to your music.
Right.
So I'm gonna bow out.
Right, exactly. So it's just like way more light and conversational, I found.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
why I lead with it.
Are you? What is? I mean, we both do music for large groups of people,
Mm-hmm.
and large groups of people is not a thing at the moment. So what is it all been looking like for you?
Yeah. I think that one of the things that I started doing with Satellite was like wine deliveries and songs.
Cool.
Which
That's
is
cool.
great because one thing that I've realized is that less is more.
Hmm.
Rather than like playing music for like 2 hours, people are like, okay, you're just there playing music.
Yeah.
If you come and play one song, 2 songs,
Yeah. It means a lot more
it means more. People
to,
are like,
to specific people.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that like it doesn't drain me as much too. So like for me, like delivering wine and singing a song is like I would do that for free.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't, but like I would. But like,
yeah. I mean, it's just like great. You're like giving people gifts.
yeah. Yeah. And they're like starved for personal contact. So
Yeah.
there's also they're like
Yeah.
way
And
more
so am
hyped.
I. Yeah. I'm like, hi, I'm your new friend Brett.
yeah.
Do you want another song?
What are you watching in there?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Any shows that
I'm not watching that. What's it like? Oh, maybe. Open up the blinds.
So I like that. I started this thing called postponement parties,
Cool.
which are essentially me and Drew from Satellite
Mhm.
show up with champagne and do their first dance like on their front porch.
Cute.
So like people show up. It's like
Yeah.
it's like you had to postpone your day, but like we're still celebrating.
Yeah.
You look gorgeous.
Do they dress up?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But like not in like a full not
Yeah.
in a wedding dress.
Yeah.
But people are kind of dressed up.
Yeah.
A little bit cash version.
Yeah. Is anybody taking pictures?
Oh yeah, like photographers. We
Nice.
we hire photographers too.
Cool.
So it's just like this little snapshot, this
Yeah.
little memory, a nice little thing to post for people, for
Right.
them to share.
Right.
That
Yeah.
easy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a very good idea.
Yeah, and people like appreciate that and they're like, oh my god, you're so positive.
What other choice do I have?
Yeah. I'm so creative. No, it is. I mean, it's just like, I think that I like that specialness, and that's why I do weddings, because
Yeah.
like special moments and like calling attention and saying, hey, everybody, we're going to listen right now.
Yeah.
Is like one of my favorite things.
Or just-
Ironically, like when I was a kid, I never was available for that. I couldn't sit still.
But there's something special about everybody doing the same thing at the same time
Yeah.
with like the same amount of attention and effort,
Mhm.
which is why sports is like
Yeah.
and like you
Bonds
really
you.
yeah, you really care about competition because you're like ping pong or pool, you're focusing on the same things.
Yeah.
And there's natural builds and lulls in conversation, and there's natural, like, the energy moves together, and I think it's a really special thing versus the, like, playing in the background and everyone's kind of doing their own things at these different stations.
And we talked about this too, about like me and you play in the same sort of realm, which is like the more intimate spaces.
Sure.
And I don't think that COVID has hurt that much. I mean, certainly it has had a right.
Because
if anything, it's going
spaces
to
are
grow
still-
that.
yeah.
You know, people are going to want that more. They're not going
Right.
to go to like a huge music festival, but like
Right.
a backyard party.
Right.
You know, that's easy.
Yeah. Especially, like, within your own neighborhood with
Yeah.
the people that you trust and, like, are already acquainted with.
Yeah. Totally.
Totally. No random parties.
Yeah. No.
No, that's never happened.
No block parties. I think that I've seen
Yeah.
people do that, like
Right.
playing cul-de-sacs and
Right.
like all the neighbors sort of like sit out away.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's been cool. I've been doing that too. Have you been able to write?
A little bit. Finished some songs, working on some stuff. You know, not like a whole song per
Yeah.
se, but like
You sound
more like,
super excited about
more
it right
like
now.
10, more like 10 new songs.
Okay.
The beginning of them.
Yeah. Do you feel good about it?
Oh, I do. I guess that like I just didn't want it to lead to you asking me to play one of those.
No.
Those
No,
are-
I
those
wouldn't. My ability to write songs in quarantine is like pretty poor. I've written a
Really?
few good songs, but the majority of them are just all about me being afraid of dying from COVID-19.
Really?
they're all just like end of the world sort of songs, which aren't inspiring to me. Like people post them on
Right.
all his social media, and I'm like, I don't want to hear songs about the end of the world.
Yeah.
While
I'm-
we're in the middle of that. You know?
I also have a thing about like being too like time relevant.
Yeah.
You know, where I try not to do that. I want to
Right.
write songs that like could have been written 100 years ago,
Sure.
but that's just me.
Yeah.
You know,
I try to write songs that
the-
are going to be written 100 years in the future. So
Oh,
I just
okay.
try and guess the themes.
I like that.
I write about
That's
you
actually
know,
not a bad concept.
our god Steve Jobs and
Our God, Steve Jobs. You know, I don't know. I think that it's like whenever I hear like someone reference like a cell phone in a song, it feels wrong.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just like folk music, like not
yeah.
heart.
I feel that same way. I also don't like that in movies where they reference like current political things. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I was in a world and then you took me out of that world and put me
Right.
back in my world. I don't want to be here.
Totally.
I'd rather be in Wakanda.
Yeah.
Um,
How have those backyard parties been going for you?
Cool. I mean, it's neat. Just getting to like meet people who are already interested in that kind of a
Yeah.
thing. I've had people say like, "Hey Connor, we'd actually prefer if you stopped playing covers, and if you just did your own songs." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, for sure." That's the greatest thing I've heard in a while. So, yeah, that's neat.
that is great.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it doesn't happen many places.
Okay.
So it's very special when it happens.
Yeah, get a place where you just play your own. It doesn't matter what people
Yeah.
want. You're gonna be happy.
Yeah, I've been telling people, I've just been like in my banter explaining how people don't know what it is that they want. Like when you give someone a list of songs that you know how to play at a wedding, they're looking at that list and being like, they're basically being told what they want, because they like think they have this idea of like, oh, maybe we have a song, but it's like, no, you don't have a song.
Mhm.
Most couples don't have songs.
Right.
So just pick a cute song that
Yeah,
I know.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Not every couple needs a song.
yeah,
Corey and Topanga don't have songs.
that's interesting. I, not that part, but like I like your view on that. Like, I don't know. I also like, I don't see people taking enough risks on their songs. I want more risk. Kudos to my dad. My dad, his like first dance.
Speaking of risk.
His like father. My sister just got married,
Mhm.
and so their dance. You know, I'm thinking to myself, like, Dad, we got to go really something standard.
Yeah.
You know, let's play some Van Morrison and let's be done with it.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't tell me what song he was playing.
He was playing.
Oh no, he was like
Oh,
iPod. Yeah. And then it was like this Celine Dion song.
Hell yeah.
And at first I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you're going rogue.
Yeah.
But it was risky, and I appreciated that.
Which Celine Dion song was that?
I think it's called-
Day to wooden streets.
Yeah, that one.
You were my
Yeah.
What is that? The Best of Me? Best in Me? Something. You mean fake cause you
love me.
yeah.
Because you love me. or
Okay, yeah. That sounds great. Are you interested in playing any of your Open F songs?
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
you're welcome to whenever you like.
This one's a Celine Dion cover.
You were mine. You might as well try now.
So this song is one that I've just been really gravitating to. It's called Thin Walls, and it's about hearing people talk shit about you.
Like that. Do you experience that a lot?
Well, not a lot.
But we got thin walls around here, man.
Yeah, but I think that it's something, as the youngest in the family, something
Yeah.
I've always been really sensitive to.
Right.
I have lots of ideas that every day I'll have a new idea about something, And in this particular case, I was like sharing that idea with my pops,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Oh, it's a great idea. It's very cool."
Yeah.
And then I heard him talking to his girlfriend about it. And he's like, "What is this guy thinking? This guy's way off base." Anyways, I was hurt by that.
Yeah.
I was pissed off.
Yeah.
Say it to my face.
Yeah. I know some ideas aren't great. Say that to my face.
The idea was bad. I'll tell you what it was afterwards. I
Okay, great.
can't say what the idea was before because that's all you'll think about.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I gotta get you in.
Yeah.
Thin walls. Oh, the walls were thin, and I heard you talking about me. Imagining the grin on your face as you were laughing. Would have put me down. Haven't you found out I'm a fighter? Oh, the fuel you pour feeds my soul and sets a fire. I don't wanna be your laughing stock. I don't wanna be your pantomime. Show me your shadows, I will show you mine. You used to put me down, but I bet you regret it now. And that's when I knew that I was a fool for ever thinking you had my back. Oh, you changed the rules. Your chuckle is so cruel. I tell you one more time. And I don't wanna be your laughing stock. And I don't wanna be your pantomime. Show me your shadows, I will show you mine. You used to put me down, but I bet you regret it now.
That's so good, dude.
Thanks, dude.
That's such a cute little phrase. I bet you'll regret it now.
Yeah. It's just like the idea of I feel like I've always been really fueled by spite.
Oh, really? I thought it sounded very forgiving.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's more of like, I'll show you.
I will make you regret it.
Yeah.
I interpret it as you love me so much, you probably regret it already.
Oh, no. It's more, let me rephrase for you here. It's, now that I accomplished all of that,
Yeah.
and that I am incredible,
Right.
and have accomplished all these things, now I bet you regret saying that shit. That's what it is. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
What was the
a
idea?
little more dark than that.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a jet ski business.
Hell yeah. Tell me.
Yeah, I love jet skis.
Tell me more. You just wanted to own and
Yeah.
rent jet skis.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
I mean, what's to make fun of? I mean, people do it.
So there are these really cool, things that they make out of France, and they make some in Canada, and they're like, it's like this boat shell that a jet ski fits into.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So it's like a boat jet ski.
Yeah.
And you could, save a lot of dock space, by having, you could rent boats and jet skis,
Right.
and they're almost like configurable.
Right.
I also am into like a lot of extreme water sports.
Are you?
Not actually into doing them, but into, thinking about them and maybe
Like watching videos?
Yeah, watching videos, going into YouTube holes on it.
Yeah. Do you wakeboard?
So I've never gotten up on a wakeboard.
Okay.
I've tried twice now,
Okay.
and it really bothers me.
Okay. Sorry.
I'm pretty athletic, I'm like pretty good at stuff. I mean, generally. And for what it's worth, I was going to keep trying until I got it.
Yeah.
But the people that I was with both times were sort of like, all right, 10 tries, probably call it a day, huh? And I'm like, again. They're like, it's getting pretty late. Yeah,
There's 4 of us,
Yeah.
and one of us has had a turn.
right, exactly.
So, okay, sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I've also tried to get up on one ski.
Yeah. Can you get up on 2 skis?
Yeah, I can get up on skis.
Okay, great.
Oh, yeah, come on.
Great.
Yeah.
I just wanted to.
And I rip. I mean, in all honesty. But,
when I'm up on those 2 skis, I
baby.
just stay up, you know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, but definitely need. But when I said extreme water sports, I was thinking like more of like personal drones and electric hydrofoils
Okay.
and stuff like that I'm very
Yeah.
interested in. That's just
Yeah.
like too expensive to actually like buy. But,
Those hydrofoils are cool.
yeah, they're cool.
Although, do you like hand remote them? Is that what
They're
controls
like
it?
little boosted boards, kind
Okay,
of.
yeah.
But
I saw a guy out in Goleta doing it the other day, and I was like, just wondering about the logistics. I was like, what if you fall and you like hand catches on the accelerator and it's just like, like
yeah, I think that there's something
yeah,
that
as
like
soon as you
jet
disconnect,
skis,
it'll
you like
yeah,
disconnect or something
Smart.
like that. I think that it actually might be a wired remote.
Okay,
No,
Oh,
it's not
that's-
wired. I don't know.
that's fine.
We'll have to do something.
Okay, so he didn't like the jet ski idea,
Yeah.
and you abandoned that for
Of course. It was just the idea of the day.
yeah. Do you? I've learned from this book that I was reading that there's like a good practice every day just to keep up your creativity is to come up with 10 new ideas and just write them down.
Oh, write them down.
You don't have to act on any.
Okay.
It's just about like the ability to come up with new ideas.
Oh, really? I do that all the time.
Do you write them down?
No.
Okay.
I keep them right up in here.
Okay.
It's safe.
Are there any like top 2 interesting ideas that you are like fiddling around with?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Are they super secret?
No.
Okay. What are they?
No. Welcome. Like, this is an advertisement brought to you by Vessel. So I have a new project called Vessel.
Okay, great.
And the idea is about creating really interesting, cool service vehicles and helping brick and mortar brands bridge their in-person experience to events.
Okay.
So we just finished the satellite vessel,
Oh, really?
and it's a vintage 3-wheel motorcycle
Cool.
that we've renovated into a walnut bar top with a canvas canopy, and you drive in and we can serve natural wine.
That's very cool.
And so I want to do more of these, and I want these vehicles to kind of like be all over town advertising, and I want to build them into my events business so that I can help these brick and mortars. I mean, with COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of these brands have seen that how reliant they are on their physical locations.
Right. Yeah.
And so I want to help, like, there's also like such a great opportunity being at these really cool events for people to engage with your brand in a way that maybe they're not going to look you up on Yelp and come to your place,
Right.
but you can come to them.
Right.
And so the idea is that I'm already doing these events and I can help them coordinate like the logistics of equipment, which I'm already doing for weddings. So that's an idea that I'm pursuing.
Have you ever seen The Good Lion?
Business cards are in the mail.
Are they really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Is it spelled just normal vessel?
VESSL.
I figured there was no N to E.
It's just something cool,
Yeah,
you know, for the
vessel.
kids. For the kids.
Yeah. Kids hate vowels.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Good Lion's mobile setup?
No, I've heard about it though.
It's not.
It's nice.
They do a good job of like.
Is it motorized or is it just?
No, they'll just set up a table and like do their thing, like bring it all. But they do cater. It's basically catering, but their table.
But they do a good job of translating the in-person experience.
The aesthetic is similar.
Yeah.
To the aesthetic of the space.
Yeah.
And the uniforms are still the same. So you have like an actual bartender wearing what that bartender would wear in that space.
Yeah.
With like they bring in some of those books and they like set them up and they're like little trinkets and
Totally.
So, yeah.
The exact same thing. You know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested in designing spaces and I started my first Airbnb this year, so I was like loved setting it up and dialing it.
Yeah.
And I really like that. Although I think that other people have usually better taste than I do.
Okay.
But I like thinking about it. I like thinking about experience and I like thinking about how people walk in and how they feel.
Yeah.
And I like to use my brain for that.
Yeah.
It's exciting. Yeah.
These are a lot of business ideas.
Oh yeah, this is just the tip of the surface. Yeah.
There's, cause I mean I was like looking through your website and I was like we've talked about Brett Hunter the person.
Right.
We've talked about Brett Hunter the band. But then there's also
Brett Hunter the business.
Right. There's Brett Hunter the business, which is Brett and Co.
Right.
And then I was also looking on your Instagram and I was like, there was like Southern
Brew Band?
Southern Brew Band,
That was
which
my
is
old
like
band.
an entirely different thing.
Oh yeah, that was when I was burning the candle at both ends.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my like rock and roll band.
So you had like 2 projects going on at that time?
Well, so I went to school. So I discovered music when I was growing up, and I got sent to boarding school. My parents sent me to boarding school because I was
Nice.
a handful.
Like a real Harry Potter kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. More like a Shia LaBeouf Holes kind of kid. But when I did that, I knew that I wanted to do music. But when I went to college, I didn't want to study music. I was like, I already knew how to play music. I need someone to tell me how to monetize it.
Right.
So I went to school for business and then worked for a couple companies
Right.
after that. But then when I quit my job, I was like, I want to tour and be a musician. And so I started a bunch of different bands. And Southern Brew was one of those bands.
Right.
And it was like all about sheer just soaring. I don't know. It was like basically I met this guy.
It was only the next level.
Yeah, it was only the next level.
Yeah.
But this guy, his name is Drew Southern. Drew Southern, what's up? What's up, Drew? And he inspired me to quit my job.
Yeah.
He was just like, he had long hair. He
Yeah.
just shredded guitar, and he was just like, yeah. And I was like, damn, this guy, he's got something going on.
Yeah.
And so we started writing songs. Like, first time we hung out, we wrote like 10 songs in a week.
Jeez.
And I was like, I'm gonna quit my job. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna do
You're like,
this.
God, you're my soulmate.
Yeah, it was like that.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
He's my soul brother. We kind of looked like brothers too. People thought we were siblings.
Sure. Is Southern Brew supposed to be like Southern Brett? Is it?
No,
No, it's
no. I mean, well, and Drew's last name was Southern, so there's that too.
Oh, is it okay? So it's not a play on Southern
It's not
Drew.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Yeah. If anything, that's like kind of makes it a little bit weird. I liked the name on its own.
Okay.
I was inspired by a lot of like Southern soulful rock and roll
Sure.
stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why it was called that. But, eventually, like, we went on tour, and it wasn't very sustainable.
Sure.
Because it was just, like, he had a way of sort of bringing out of me this, like, next level. Because whenever he'd play guitar, I'd want to match his tone.
Yeah.
And he would keep on going higher and higher.
Yeah.
And then I would just... my friends that I grew up with that knew, like, songwriter Brett, like, when they came to see, like, Southern Brew shows, they were like, whoa, dude. Like...
You need to calm down.
Yeah, you need to calm down. Like, they were like...
Wait, really?
Yeah. They were like, this isn't sustainable.
Like you were just singing too high, or like the energy was just...
It was just like wild, and like it wasn't about sounding pleasant.
Okay. It was about the experience of like all energy.
Yeah, like we loved climbing stairs. Like we would always find stairs like close to where we were performing, and I would climb up the stairs, and we would like, you know, I would like hang the mics down, and Drew would be like on the ground like soloing, and I would be hanging mics over him when he was singing. It was wild.
It's like
I would just like drink a lot when I was like performing, and it was just like sweaty.
Yeah.
And like awesome.
Yeah. That's amazing. Have you ever met anybody else that you've like had that good of musical chemistry with, that you could write like 10 songs in a week? That's pretty crazy.
I mean, I think that's probably the height, but I definitely have had really great relationships where we've cranked out tons of songs. Like,
sure.
I wrote a bunch of songs with the other dudes in my band. Tim Martinet wrote "Life Is Only Beautiful" with me, and Daniel Tenenbaum. We wrote a bunch of songs together, like Walkers, and all these like songs on tour and stuff. But there was something about Drew. We could bring out like 10 bangers.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And then we started an R&B project. I started the Schmang Brady is my R&B alter ego.
Schwinn Brady.
Schmang Brady.
Schmang?
Yeah, Schmang Brady.
Schmang Brady.
Yeah. So
why Schmang?
Well, I wanted a project that I could be like highly sexual and misogynistic kind of in. And yeah, I felt that
because Eminem can have Slim Shady, so why can't I have Schmang?
Brady? Why can't I have Schmang? Yeah, I'm really putting it all out there.
Yeah, I like
this recording here. But yeah, Schmang Brady was like it was just like an experiment of, you know, how do I become the sexiest man on the planet? And the answer to that, part of the answer was to, you know, work under a different name.
Yeah.
Because like, if you think getting up on stage and speaking your truth is hard.
Yeah.
What's harder is getting up on stage and trying to be this like grand vision of something.
This most Jay-Z version.
It scared me. It scared me because like I got to a point where like I could like bare my heart and like it was like nothing.
Yeah.
It's easy for me now. I feel. And then the real thing that scared me was like, what if you were just like trying to become a pop sensation? I'm like, oh my god, that's so embarrassing. Perfect. Schmang Brady.
Schmang Brady.
So we wrote such hits as Ride It and Work.
Yeah.
Supernova Coincidence.
Supernova Coincidence?
Yeah. Milk.
Okay, that was
Milk
originally a Schmang song.
Actually, not originally, but we turned it into a Schmang song.
Okay.
It worked well with it.
Okay. We double dipped into that one.
Let's see what other songs that had funny names. Oh, Work in the Morning.
Work in the Morning?
Yeah, the chorus is like, don't tell me you got work in the morning. Yeah, it's a pretty hot track. And that was one of my favorite ones.
You've done a lot of genres.
Yeah.
That song you just played is like more of like a country folk tune.
Yeah. That's who I really am.
Okay.
Yeah, but I just like to dabble in other
But
things.
you also do a lot of the like R&B soul.
Yeah.
R&B, sorry.
R&B soul.
Yeah. Arby's.
R&B soul.
When you're listening to soul music and you're at an Arby's. Do you identify most with the country tunes? So,
well, I think that like it's just more of like actually what I want to put out in the world and like when people are paying attention, that's what I play. When people aren't paying attention, I want to play.
What do you mean?
Play with characters, or play songs that are fun.
Yeah.
You know, but when people are paying attention, I'm like, oh, I have something to say. This is what I really want to say.
So your more sincere self is more like country folk. And then when like people aren't paying as much attention, you're like, fine, you'll get the character.
Yeah, it's like, this is Schmang Brady, y'all. Yeah. And then people are like...
You don't get to meet me, you're not paying attention to me.
Yeah, and then people
Schmang.
are like turned away from like where they think they want to spend their energy. They're like talking with their friends and they're like, whoa, what's going on over here? what the hell is this?
Shemang has a way of turning heads.
There was this we discovered, because it's really funny, like I put so much energy into like writing these songs, and then I'm like, I'm gonna make this record, I'm gonna put it out, and like it's gonna be so great, and then like no one cares, right? What was I saying? Oh yeah, no one cares, right? You put out this record and no one cares, and it's almost too sincere for people,
Right.
and it's funny because then Shemang Brady came out and dropped his hot new album.
Yeah.
And people were like, and this is like, we made these Shemang Brady songs in like a week and put them out on Spotify.
Yeah.
Like 2-week total period.
Yeah.
And then like all my friends were like, damn dude, Shemang Brady, like what's up? And you pour so much energy into like the message and like being sincere. And then like people aren't even ready for that. Yeah. And I found that there was this found something about attraction. There was a lesson about attraction in there. Yeah. I found that the people are really attracted to something that they can't figure out. So we wanted to ride the edge of people not knowing if we were kidding or not.
Yeah.
And ride the edge of cringe.
Yeah.
And we saw that so much in music today, right? Yeah. People like, why are people so attracted to this, like, like mumble rap and stuff like that? And it's because they kind of like a little bit of the cringe.
Sure.
Because it's interesting.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to ride that cringe edge, but then have people be like, wait, this is actually really good.
Okay.
But it's stupid.
Yeah.
We wanted to get them in the door with this is stupid and cringy.
Yeah.
And then we wanted to leave with, actually, this is kind of a banger.
That's kind of how I feel about Yummy. Like the first time I heard Yummy by Justin Bieber.
I don't know that song.
It's just, girl, you got that yummy, 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 yummy. And it just repeats that over and over.
Right, you're like, this is so stupid.
Yeah, it's like kind of stupid, but I'm like, now you got me.
Kind of fire.
Yeah. I dig it.
So I've been thinking about how, people ask me, or, people ask Brett, when is Shemang, going to make his first debut performance.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about it a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like I need to like have a shtick with the performance. Like, I don't want to show my face, maybe.
Yes.
Or maybe I wear a mask or a helmet.
Yeah.
I definitely want to do something like that.
Or there's like you're like really well backlit and there's a white sheet in front of you, so it's just your silhouette the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then when I walk off stage, I want to show up to the gig in character.
Yeah.
And leave in character.
Yeah.
Like, that's very important to me.
That's smart. Yeah.
I had a release party once where I, dressed up, and basically it was a 24-hour party, West Oakland.
Okay.
Shemang Brady's release party, and I basically just showed up wearing all white and gold chains, and like played my music on speakers as I just hyped it.
For 24 hours?
No, I mean, so the party is a 24-hour party,
right?
But I got an hour. So different people get an hour.
Oh, okay,
so it's on the schedule, like on the lineup. Shemang Brady had an hour where I was like, we're going to listen to my music for an hour.
Were most people like showing up and like playing the songs?
Well, no. So like I was in the living room.
Yeah.
And I just had speakers set up and I just like played my album and we just like took shots.
Yeah. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's really great.
That's it's very much like a Kanye West thing to do.
Yeah.
Like,
Shemang Brady is like following in the footsteps of the marketing genius of Kanye West.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dang.
Do you want to play a song?
I'm down. I'm not sure what song I will play, but I can figure it out.
We can talk more and then you can fall into it.
Do
you have any alter egos?
I do. That was the whole point of the John Still album that I made. It was the Blue album. And
tell me about that.
It was just all about. So I got married and quit my job in the same month.
Sick.
And it was like
the emotional stability that you had.
Yeah, I was so emotionally stable. I was like, let's do it. But my thought was, like, I just got out of these relationships, and the relationship previous to my wife, like, I wanted to marry her, but she did not want to marry me. And I was like, oh, this is a really important lesson for me to learn, which is some people are going to marry people because they want to marry them versus getting married because they both want to be in a marriage together. Those are very different things.
Oh.
And so I was like, my wife, you know, the one that I have, she want like all the good, all the good traits, and like she has her own quirks that are great too, and then also has this trait of wanting to be married to me, which is something that you just can't negotiate.
Interesting.
Or like, it's not a trait that you can really like train.
So she
into.
wants both.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
And you want both?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And the girl previous, we liked each other, but did not like. She did not want to marry me. Like made this very clear, and I was like, part of me wanted to like force it and like sell the idea of like, no, I'm great. I'm gonna be a great husband for anyone. You too. And I was like, I wonder what my life would have been like if I like went through with that. And a part of it would be like, it'd probably be like a bit more of a like, there'd be more acting involved. There'd be a bit more of a like split personality.
Right.
I'd be like kind of forcing it on her, forcing her into this life.
Oh, okay, so this is... Okay, I like that.
So I basically made
So this is like your character.
Yeah, so this character is basically like his life. I basically made like an album of like watching his life unfold, where you like meet him, you meet his daughter.
So this is the beginning, kind of.
Yeah, this is called. This is also before I like learned that titles of songs really matter. So this song is called the Choices of John Still, which none of those words show up. I liked it too, but it's not. It's not informative. People are like, "Who's John Still? Is that something I should know?" And I was like, "No, it's a kid." Thank you. It wasn't. It wasn't.
You don't need to change a thing.
No, I'm not. It's already out, so I'm not going to change a thing. But yeah, this was.
What's the title again? Can you just one more time?
The Choices of John Still.
That just sounds like bad. It's a song about bad choices.
Yeah, it's
of some lonely guy.
Yeah, it's epic.
His name's John Still. That's not a real name. That's a cool character name.
Thank you. So these are all things that
John
I thought.
Still?
Yeah.
Did you come up with that?
Yeah.
It's great.
And people were like, "Well, how'd you come up with that name?" And I was like, "Well, John is just like your average white guy's name." And then Still, because, you know, he's unchanging.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I tell people about Schmang Brady. It's like Schmang because obviously that's a normal name.
Yeah, Schmang rhymes with Wang. It's also like pretty out there.
Yeah. Sorry,
and it's like Wayne Brady if like Wayne Brady had an alter ego.
Yeah, well, Brady was just like, you know, like the nice guy. It's like the conflict of like the nice guy and the real crude misogynistic guy.
Yeah. Imagine a really rude misogynistic Wayne Brady, and but he looks like me.
And then be Schmang Brady.
Schmang Brady, all the talent of Wayne Brady.
Okay, so wait, tell me a little bit about John Still.
So
like what kind of car does he drive?
I don't even know if he drives a car. Probably the Batmobile.
Doesn't have a car. I like that.
No, I mean the part of the like storytelling of the song is, like the basic premise is, what if love potions were real, and if you can like basically drug someone into marrying you, and like how long until the love potion wears off, and then what do you do in that marriage? You know.
Cool. I love it.
So this guy, you'll like hear hints of that. You'll hear hints of that potion wearing off and him trying to work on the potion rather than his marriage. And so I mean, it normally has voice changing stuff, but I will.
You gotta do the voice.
I'll do the voice changing stuff. Give me a second.
See the dusty halls of Mrs. Still, the doctor's wife. In the everlasting tapestry, a thread removed so we could choose this life. With the mixtures he makes his mind too dark a place to live. All alone in his room, he paints the walls of what he wants. What shall do for fight the fates and try to win to be free. With the echoes ringing in his mind, was this meant to be? Oh, to learn what was missed, and again set the scene, place the cats with the mice, the wolves with the sheep, sharing a single pen. He writes it down and increments, but just wait. Don't you question my motives, dear. I loved you more than I could stand. Pheromones will work again. Bring me one more for them. I know. I know. And it's different. Now he has the time to sit all alone in his office on the ocean side that they once called their home. Those toxins they smelled when chemicals rose, it infected their brains in ways that no one could know. His experiments failed in a matter of time. I remember the day when she first said goodbye. Don't you question my motives, dear. I loved you more than I could stand. Pheromones will work again. Bring me one more for them. I know. Don't you question my motives, dear. I loved you more than I could stand. Pheromones will work again. Bring me one more for them. I know. I know.
And then I normally do like a really big build with this.
I know.
Then it goes off.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I like that like kind of like dark voice that
It's a very dark voice. I like it for many a reason, but one of the things that like gave me a sound for that entire album, like there's a girl voice function on that, so it can like make me
is that
sound.
just an octave lower or is it octave
Oh yeah, it
lower
just gives
with
me an octave
distortion?
lower with distortion. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So it's pretty neat. Yeah, it turns off if it gets too hot, and it gets too hot like because it's overcast. It's okay. If this was a normal day, it would be shut off by now.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's not a great pedal.
That reminds me of a song that I wrote about like these like old married couple that separates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty good transition if you wanted to play it, but you don't have to.
I just can I try?
You can try.
Can I try it?
Yeah.
Can you play your guitar?
Yeah. It's not there.
It's not there. I can play another song.
Go for it.
This is a song called Fine Peace. Haven't recorded it yet.
No, I think you played this back when we did that thing at Jensen's together.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Did you ever?
No.
Okay. Should I play a different one then?
No, I like this one.
Okay. It's about not searching for exterior validations for your comfort and resolve.
Yeah.
And
Do you do that?
resolution. Oh, all the time.
I don't, so.
Just like,
Good.
oh, like if only I just like got to this level
Yeah.
or got to that.
Do you have anything like that right now? Like is there a level that you want to be at the moment? Or like, is your motivation, because part of my motivation
Yeah,
for
like-
work is like, oh, there's this place I want to be and I want to get there.
Yeah, like
So
I
that-
think that maybe one thing is like I want to be in a relationship right now.
Sure.
You know, I'm thinking
Yeah, yeah.
that like
It's a hard time to be in a, or like, to like,
yeah.
you know, go through
Well, I'm
the
just
work of
thinking
finding
like
one.
it's like yeah. I mean, I guess there's something that I would think that like if I was in a relationship, like I'd be happier or like
Sure.
I'd feel better, or less lonely or something like that.
Sure.
Which exterior things can be a fix for sure.
Yeah.
But not like necessarily long term.
Yeah.
I wanna wake up. I wanna find peace. Oh, I wanna hide out. Go someplace where I can't be found out. I wanna take time. I wanna rewind. I wanna go back and see those people I met along the way. When do you figure it out? Oh, and why did it take you so long? Always got to go changing your mind every time you see a crook in a road. Always looking for something better to remind me of that very first time that you know you'll never find. And I want to find you. I want to try something new. And I don't want to regret all the times you and I never spent. I want to hold you just like I told you. And I want to remember that feeling forever. And I didn't know if I was running to or if I was running away. Oh, and that peace I found, it was with me every step of the way. No more looking for something better to remind me of that very first time. But you know I'll never find. I just want to find peace.
I like it. Well, before you go,
Yeah?
you went to business school. So obviously, you know, Schmank Brady, great business ideas. What do you think is like some bad advice, or like what's something that you see a lot of people like in our sphere doing as like a waste of their energy? Like how would you?
I think that people aren't honest with themselves about what's a business and what's a hobby.
What do you mean?
You know, everyone should do what they love to do, but I think it's important to be real about what's a business and what's a hobby. For me, I think that my hobby is being a songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
And that gets me in the door to do for my business.
Yeah.
And so I think that people, first of all, like being an artist is like one of the worst like businesses that you could ever have.
Right.
It's completely hard to scale.
Yeah.
It completely relies on one person being healthy
Fully
and
healthy.
alive.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
like, its scalability is limited to your presence.
Right.
It's the worst investment no investor would ever. You don't see people record labels, I guess, invest in people, but
that's a dying
not
industry,
really.
so.
They're investing in the recordings.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like being an artist is like a horrible business, but that doesn't mean that people shouldn't be them.
Right.
I think that you just have to be realistic about what's a hobby.
Yeah.
And what your business is.
Where do you find the balance with like feeding your business versus feeding your hobby?
Well, I think everyone has a different approach. Like, have you ever heard of Ikigai?
Mm-mm.
It's like the Japanese chart for, is it happiness? I think it's happiness.
Okay.
It's about what you want to leave to the world,
Mm-hmm.
what you love to do, what you're good at, and what people will pay you for.
Okay.
So the intersection of all of those Venns is ikigai.
Okay.
Which means like, I don't know what it means actually. I'm not going to pretend like,
Yeah.
but I think it's like, it's sort of like, in a sense, it's like an equation for happiness.
Yeah.
So what my version of that is it doesn't need, I think that's really overwhelming, right? It's like, what am I going to do? I was a career counselor for a while, actually, in
That's
like
awesome.
tech. I worked for like a tech boot camp school, and I've worked with people, and there were so many people that were like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, that's a very common thing. Even
Yeah.
when people with jobs and like,
Right.
you know, they're like, I don't know, like, what would you do if you didn't have to worry about money or all this stuff? Finding the middle of that is really daunting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you could have activities in all of them and have a life that is like that.
Mm.
So like, that's the way I look at it.
So it's not finding one activity that checks all 4 boxes. It's about checking
Yeah.
all 4 boxes.
Like, I found a couple of things that people will pay me for.
Yeah.
I found a couple of things that make me happy.
Yeah.
I've found a couple of things that I want to leave the world.
Yeah.
And I do things that I'm good at.
Yeah.
So it's not like one activity.
Yeah.
And so that's like what my advice is. And I think what a lot of people get wrong in terms of like identifying what's what.
Hmm. Interesting.
You know, like you're a parent, right? And your kid's like, I want to be an artist.
Yeah.
Your reaction is no, but it's really not no. It's how are you going to make money?
Right.
It's like, no, that's great.
Yeah.
We love that you're an artist.
Yeah.
But you want to be an artist?
Yeah. Yeah. A full-time artist is very different from being.
I want to put all my eggs in this basket
Right.
where there's not a lot of scale,
Right.
not a lot of payoff.
Right.
And yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, your business is still you playing music a lot of the time.
Yeah. I mean, I think that what I found was that when I was in like the corporate world, people didn't like I made like money for my company and I was in sales a little bit. So it was like it was irrefutable like the impact that I had.
Right.
But it didn't feel like impact. It was impact in terms of dollars,
Mm-hmm.
but then I would, you know, on one hand, like, you know, would make, you know, $1 million for this company.
Right.
And like that felt kind of cool. I was like, I could do that. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, then I would go play music for people and I would see impact.
Yeah.
And so that hit me and I was like, I need to go towards where people are giving me this like really this feedback that like you need to do this.
Yeah.
And then what I found was that I went and did that, and my assumption was that like I'm gonna be an artist now, and like we're gonna have streams, and we're gonna tour, and that's how we're gonna, and like that just doesn't pencil.
Yeah.
It just like doesn't work.
Yeah.
And especially if you're unwilling to give away pieces of yourself,
Right.
it definitely doesn't work. And so then I started to explore like other models that worked. And that's my
No, I think that's
view on
huge.
it. Yeah.
I mean, like, I feel that similar way of like needing to. I mean, we both do gigs that we would like that we don't advertise because they're not like exciting to us, like within our souls.
Totally.
But then there are other gigs where we're like, yeah, everybody can come for free. Like,
I don't advertise at all. I visit. Not that I think that that's cool.
Right.
I think that that's cool.
Yeah.
I think you're cool.
Yeah.
I just like it's just not part of the part that I like.
Right. Yeah. No, I feel that.
It's like already. I don't know. What I mean is that like it's not like. I don't like asking people to come.
Why?
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's very vulnerable. It like I don't like it when it feels like they're doing you a favor.
Right. That's what I mean. It's like it's like
Because
hey, you guys should
they're
come
not.
out. Like here's the link and like and like. I
Yeah.
want it to be like conversational. Like
Right.
if somebody reaches out to me and they're like, hey, what are you doing tonight? I'm like, oh, I'm doing a show. You should come.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't want to invite people.
Right.
It's that I don't want to like try to get people to come.
And we all know that person who like is begging all of their friends all the time.
Yeah.
And that's hard.
Yeah.
It just puts unnecessary strain on
Yeah,
relationships.
I just judge them so much that I can't do it myself.
that I've never invited anyone.
Yeah. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
It's a fault. I'm not. I don't want to tout it as like
I don't know if it's a fault.
like a little too cool for school kind of
Nah.
stuff, but it's just I get a lot. I feel like a lot of people are sort of like. I've been dealing with the same thing, and dealing it in different ways as I progress.
Yeah.
With this person, which is like, when I had a job, right? People were like, "You should do this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you should really. Why aren't you doing this?"
Yeah.
Okay. Fast forward, quitting my job,
Yeah.
fully dedicating it to myself for like 6 years.
Right.
People say, you should do this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I am. I like the only reason that they're saying that is because I'm doing it.
Right.
And I think that like that frustrates me sometimes because I'm like, I might play for like 5 people and I'll like play and you know how it is. Like sometimes it's just right. It's just like the context is right and the timing is right and you're feeling it and you're just like emote at this next level. And then people are like, want to talk to you about how you should scale that.
Yeah.
It's not really important to me to scale that because it's a hobby.
Right. Yeah.
So the fact that they were listening and they loved that so much is all I needed.
Yeah.
And they are like pushing on me that I want more.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no,
You're like,
I don't really want more than that.
yeah, that was great.
I would rather impact somebody with my music and be able to chat with them afterwards.
Yeah.
Than impact like 10,000 people and like go to my hotel room
Sure.
afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel that same way. I think a lot of people like chase some version of success that they haven't
Right.
wanted for themselves.
Right.
So like finding that like ikigai thing and being like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna claim that for myself and I'm just gonna walk towards that.
Yeah.
And people are gonna be like, oh, don't you want these things? And I'm like, nah, kinda.
Why do people? Yeah, exactly. It's like I actually look at being a successful artist as like a huge obligation. What would it be like to be a successful artist and be super famous? Actually, it's probably not that cool. It's probably like you have to deal with a bunch of different shit.
Mm-hmm.
You like there are all these negatives.
Yeah.
Everyone's relying on you. You can't
Right.
just decide not to do it.
Yeah.
You
That's
can't.
why I think medium famous is the coolest way.
Medium famous.
Like if I could get like to the level of Shaky Graves and
well
stop
known. Yeah.
of just like people who, if you're in the know,
Yeah.
great. If you
that's
don't
hot.
know who
like
I
that.
am, we're fine. You have to get going. So
Yeah.
it is that time. But great talking to you.
Yeah.
Great
Thanks for
seeing
coming
you.
over.
I know. It was a great spot.
Yeah.